Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay
everyone?
calm.
What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody just calm down!
Help!
Here,
Oh,
take my hand.
come on!
You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me!
Take it! Take my hand!
After a big afternoon of shopping, there's nothing better than some Mexican food and a nice little drink. Come on down and enjoy a nice Mexican fiesta.
Guess what? We took everything you love about the Bloomin' Onion and created a menu you've never seen before.
Let me hear you say, Bloom, there it is. Bloom, there it is.
This bloomified menu starts at $13.99 and it's gonna blow your bloomin' mind.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my little draw stream. Hope you are doing well on this fine Friday morning, wherever you may be in the world. Probably not on Friday, but beady little eyes, says Sumo. Accurate. We're here to continue coloring Fractured Mind. It feels like I've been coloring Fractured Mind for years now, even though I only started a couple of months ago. That's just how it is. That's just how it be. That's what coloring is like. Every page is a new nightmare, but I persevere. I'm learning things, and the book is looking fantastic. I hope you are well. Where's my thing? Where is it? First? Who's first? Was that the joke? Who's on first? Was it supposed to be an Asian? I can't remember. What are you? Mel's not first. What was she doing? She's supposed to be taking the kids to school. Jav was first. There we go. Oh, I was just sitting there like an idiot, not uploading the image, but let me do that now. And there it is. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is what coloring is like. Every page is a new nightmare. Bancroft's kindergarten teacher fed up fairly quickly with his dramatic outbursts. Yeah, it was a little bit like that. What is up, Jav? What is up, Sumo? What is up, Mobiggs, the Golden Wrench? Oh, yes. You just gotta hold it down to get that little accent grave or aigu. I don't know which one it is. It's the one going away. That's what it is. He says, as if she's gonna make it easier on her when you basically just call her Mel VB. I did have to, yes, no, I had to lock the door behind her, not lock her out. She's going to school. They're all out. I'm home alone. I didn't want to be in here talking rubbish while someone is inside looting the house of all our goodies, of which we have so much. What's up, Citizen Ronan? What is up, Dave Brink? Great to see you. What's up, Frederick Guimel? Speaking of French names, Frederic Guimel. I don't know. I don't think that's how he pronounces it, but that's how I'm going to say it. Oi, what's all this then? You got a license for this stream? That's how it's going to. I'm going to need that actually in 2 months. Oh, he does know French. Accent aigu. I don't know. So, Branko, Sumo doesn't have one of those fancy Franco phones. I know, that always just seemed to work. You hold down the letter and then you get all the accents. That's the one I'm talking about. Are you French Canadian, Frederick? Fred? Hello. That new art, why can't I remember his name? I start streaming and I forget everyone's name. Your artist. Who is it? Is it Dan Dahl? Who is it? Who's your artist on your book, Phil? You have so many fantastic artists. I forget which one it is. He posted some new little sneaky peeks of The Man with No Strings, and they look amazing. He just butchered your name. Apologies. No, that's what I do. A Quebecois, he is. Yeah, my wife is French. Oliver. See, I knew it wasn't Dan Dahl. I know Dan Dahl's art. I'm like, it's not Dan Dahl, but I just thought I would throw a name out there. Oliver Isabedra is doing the Whittler. He's the one whittling. Oh, he joined. Phil is over on Instagram too, saying the exact same thing. All right. Yeah, my wife is French, European. And she says you Quebecois, you use old French. Like, imagine French was sort of stuck in the olden days, essentially. That's what it's like. That's what I hear. I mean, I don't really speak French, but that's what I'm told. Don't worry, I've heard. Yeah, but I do it on purpose, so it's different. It's funny when I do it, you know. You should see if I think your name is Italian, and then all bets are off. All right, so I have another page that is somewhat similar to this one, which means I'm gonna have to be going in and trying to remember where everything is, what everything is, and starting from there. Okay, yep. All right. In the orange, let's put that up. Do I have that? I don't. I don't. This is what a lot of my drawing streams are. It's me just trying to remember what all my layers are. All right, let's put that in then. Probably need some of that. Probably need that. Ooh. I could do all this beforehand, but I was having a shower. I was getting my body ready for the day. So you get this. All right. Yep. That's good. Glow. What's that? Oh, that's that. Okay. Like how Aussies use old-timey superfluous U's when spelling things like color. And how do you spell glamour? Hey, Mo Biggs, how do you spell glamour? Who's a peeing? What did I say? What did I say now? Citizen Ronan was born in Toronto, lived in Quebec for 2 years before we came to the States. Phil does like showers. We've established that. Yes, we use the Royal French. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you've, there's the Pennsylvania Dutch, which is, they use an old-timey German as well. With funny accents. This is all I really know. I don't really know much more than what I've heard, what I've been told. Let's actually do some work here. I'm on a very, very tight deadline. And these are my least productive moments. Let's do a bit like that, I think. Yeah. A little bit of that. As I remind the Brits, we fought a revolution to no longer have to carry the likes of you. He spells glamour without the U. Damn. Revolutionary. The U, I do believe, was added in I'm going to say like the 1500s to make certain words appear more Latin. I think that's how it went. You can blame the dictionary makers. That's whose fault it is. To figure this out. We've got a little bit of sky up here, but not much. But I have done the sky on the other one, so I probably should stay consistent. I just need to find what I did. Sky. Okay, that makes sense. All right. All right. Yep. Okay. Bring that over. Group them together and call that sky. Hello, Camel. Joining us as I struggle. How's your book coming along? I know you've been doing the AI trailers. I know you've been doing the figures. How's the what's the progress on Boots and Heels? I know you got one of them finished. Hang on. Frederick knows. Scribes used to charge by the letter. Extra letter meant extra revenue. There you go. Follow the money. Follow the money. It's always the money. No, there's a great documentary you can watch here on YouTube. I watch it about once every couple of years. It's called The History of English, and it goes through everything from the old Flemish days and Germanic, whatever, blah, 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 to the Norman invasion when so many of our words, 6 panels, more to ink in total, nice, on Boots and Heels, where the French became, they obviously conquered by my, see, Frederick wouldn't know this, by my great grandfather, William the Conqueror, which we have confirmed. And it came in, slapped around the Saxons a little bit, and introduced a lot of French words into the English lexicon. It's why we have a word like beef instead of just cow. What's up, David L? Press X for that. It's confirmed. It is 100% confirmed. It sounds ridiculous until you realize that there's actually an estimated 5 million 5 million descendants of William the Conqueror. So it's not as Jake loves cow or beef. Well, it's the same thing. It's just, you know. Mo says Hebrew and Arabic both have Flemish roots, but you got to really read it. He means like and there's less certain genetic lineage, although a lot of them want to claim it, from William the Conqueror back to Alfred the Great. So, but yeah, you know what? If he wants to claim it, then I can too, because, you know, ipso facto, rules of heredity. I guess I am also descended from Alfred the Great. England's, well, not really England's. At least, what was that? What was his land called? I think all I can think of is Westeros. That's not right. Wessos? No, not that many Bancrofts, but a lot of William descendants, that's for sure. It's like what you like. I think half of all Asians, there's a 50% chance that Sumo Thor is descended from Genghis Khan. So, you know, it sounds cool until you actually give the real stats. All right, what am I doing here? What happened? Okay, that's not supposed to be like that. Yeah. How does that look? Any good? Bit bright. Where's that light coming from? You guys don't know what I'm talking when I'm just looking at my other window that I've got open here. I'm trying to figure out where the bloody. This is why I should work in. Just doing the same thing over and over again instead of trying to go like page by page, because I forget where I've done everything. Okay, glow. Oh my god. All right. Khan spread a lot of seed, apparently. He did. He was very prolific in his day. And yeah. As was often said regarding William, grossly elongated is the head which wears the crown. Rob is rubbing off on him. He just said you all look the same, Sumo. I would never. Sumo has the top knot. That's how we know he's different. He does the fast hand slap. You know? That's his finishing move. All right, this isn't working. Screwed this up somehow. Oh, this looks funny. Okay, that does not look right. Let's just abandon that altogether. How is Mel saying hello when she's driving the kids to school. I call shenanigans. Is that Victoria on behalf of Mel? Which means my kids are probably listening in the car right now to their father waffle on about his great lineage and their great lineage as well. Inherited through me, through my bloodline, through my mother's bloodline. Not the Bancrofts. We've already gotten into the Bancroft Jews. The two proud Bancroft families in Australia. There's the Jews, and then there's the doctors. And I thought we were part of the doctors because we look so alike, but apparently not. So they're listening like any other day that ends in Y. Well, she has two hands, yeah, but you're not allowed to touch. You're not even allowed to touch the phone in Australia. You get like $1,000 fine just by touching it. So I doubt she would risk it. I think I'm just gonna. I'm wasting a lot of time on this stupid thing. My finishing move is my own business. Says Sumo. Fair enough. No, that's understandable. Remember when you, this is Camel, remember when you told me you were going to take the whole family to Disney World for Christmas this year? Oh, yeah? You sure about that? We were planning to go to France. We are not planning. We are going to France in July next year for a pretty long period of time. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing with the streaming. I might have to just stream from the southern French fields. Take you to a boulangerie and patisserie. Mel loves that I speak French. She loves when I honor the French language with my Australian accent. Good evening, Cosmonaut Comics. What's up? I have way too many layers in this file. I don't know what this is one of the, I started this one ages ago and I just put it aside because I couldn't be bothered with it. I wanted to do other stuff. And now I come back to it and I've got so many layers. It's very annoying. It's bloody disappeared. Hold on a sec. Good old StreamYard. J'adore les pâtisseries, says Frédéric. Stream in French, Michael. Ah, bien sûr. J'ai dessiné mon comic book. Let Rob take over the channel when you're gone and streaming while wearing a homemade forehead. I wish I could find like a forehead extender. That would be hilarious. No streams because you're going to France? No, like we'll figure something out. Les bandes dessinées Lucent. One day it will happen. Glenette. How do you say that? I never know when it's a brand name. They're like, yeah, of course you pronounce the last letter in a brand name, like even though you don't in anything else. Doesn't make any sense. But Soleil, that's another one. Yeah, these great publishers. They're really the only publishers in the world that can make those proper massive bande dessinée sizes. Because I looked into it, and the price to print those is just absolutely ridiculous. It's its own strange size, and the printers are like, "Are you crazy?" You know, it's like triple the cost of a normal hardcover, and hardcovers are already expensive to make. But you know, they print so many of them, they obviously have all their deals. Stream from the top of the Eiffel Tower with Mel B at the bottom, so we can see she looks like a little potato from that vantage point. What is with you and the typos lately, Sumo? I stand by my accuracy on that image. The little potato sack. What is a potato? Potato. Let me think here. What is potato in French? Don't say it if you know it. It's patate. Patate. Mon petit potate. I think that's it. Ah, mon petit potate. Is it patate? I don't know. Jambon. She doesn't like it when I call her that. For some reason. She's not a fan of that. I thought it would sound super cute because it all started years ago when I was asking her, you know, what's this in French? What's that in French, right? Yeah, patate frite is potato chips, fries. And I said, what's, you know, like, what's a cat? Chat. What's a cow? Vache. What's a pig? Jambon. I'm like, oh, that's so, you know, that's so, it sounds so cool. And then I said, what's a dog? And she went, xia. And I said, no, really, what's a dog? And she's like, xia. And I was like, no, that's Chinese. Come on, that can't be a dog. And it is. So I said, you know what? I think the cutest sounding animal in all of French, or the cutest sounding meat, because it's a cochon, is a pig. Actually, I got that wrong. Jambon is the ham. It's saying they're an idiot. Cochon is cute too, as well. So, yeah. It's a weird language. They probably stopped listening by now. Had enough of my slander. I'm guessing it reminds her of Le Jambon Brousse Sauvage. What's Brousse? I don't know what that is. Sauvage is easy enough to figure out. What's up, Darkside? Joined us over on Instagram. I'm liking this Instagram thing. People actually watch. Or at least they pop in and say hi. She says, okay, Park, stop butchering my language. No, I don't think I will. We've got Frederick in the chat. I'm just trying to impress him with my knowledge of the French language. He's clearly impressed. He had no idea that I was such an international man of mystery. Melby calls Bancroft her cornichon. I can only guess why. Mon gros cornichon, hopefully. Anyone who doesn't know, a cornichon is a little, what is it, like a gherkin? A pickle? I do love a good cornichon. Delicious. As does Mel. Make of that what you will. I feel like I could be overcooking her here, but that's all right. I can always adjust it later if need be. It says Bancroft used to grumble about the nickname until he was humbled by Rod. Rod can be very humbling. It's true. I'm still waiting on the last inked page. I saw he was almost finished with it. I was hoping I would have it by now. I've got to probably give him a little nudge. So I would love to get that in. We're really getting down to crunch time at the moment. It'd be good to get. Because then I've got to start flatting it, which I actually don't mind. I always just do that in front of the old TV. Easy enough. I know I've seen Bancroft wear a white shirt twice and a red shirt once, but 99.7% of the time it's all black. I think I've seen Johnny Cash wear less than Bancroft. It just suits it the ambiance, you know. I think I have a grayish shirt underneath today. I'm going to cover that up best I can. It's my brand, you know, like the hat is the brand. No one wants to see my giant forehead and hair. You know, it's just part of the look now. To be fair, sometimes he also wears a black hoodie until Mel keeps washing it. At least you're not bald. That forehead, yeah, he always forgets. Mo says, Paul Valley wasn't here for my striptease. Oh, well. You'll just have to, yeah. You just have to catch the replay. Okay. What do we got here? You know, the forehead is only so prominent because of this camera. It's very, you know, things look 10% taller on camera. That's just how it goes. So, you know, that's the first thing people have said to me when they meet me in real life. They're like, "Oh, the forehead isn't actually that big in real life. The camera adds, you know, 4 inches to the." Like, I get around town all the time without a hat on, and no one says like behemoth or anything like that to me behind my back. So it's the shape of your head, my diamond shaped head. It is unusual. I'll give him that. How many cameras are you on there? Just the one. One is all I need. Suma says nobody talks the Easter Island statues either. I feel like maybe they were my people. You know, if I go back, I feel an affinity that I haven't felt anywhere else. Frankenstein monster also looked normal in a baseball hat. Yeah, why do you think he's always got a hood on? Because he knows he's got to deal with the prejudice of the normies. They just don't understand. They'll never understand. The norms, as I like to call them, walking around out there with their normal heads. You know, someone like Phil Diaz, he doesn't get half as much guff from his abnormally short forehead. You know? Oh, look, Bancroft has such a big one. Oh, it's so massive. Look at it. Oh, my goodness. It's crazy how big Bancroft's is. No one talks about how small Phil's is. Why is that? I mean, we all know why, right? Are we still talking about the camera? I've forgotten what we're talking about. Let's get back to talking about how I'm descended from a great king. Let's get back to that topic. That was a good topic. It all started in sometime in the past when one of my 13th grandfather, so great times 13 grandfather, was like Lord Duke, blah, blah, whatever, you know, Worcestershire friggin'. So then we got looking into him. We're like, oh, look at this guy. And, you know, once you get into the Dukes of England, you're basically in at that point. Someone somewhere is descended from, you know. Bancroft was also descended from King Herod, the inspiration for all the child death in the Lucent. Well, you see Rob trying to not get outdone, doing a bit of his own. All right, let's see what I can do here. A bit of this, a little bit of that. Yep. A little bit of this. And a little bit of where is it? What have I done with it? Yellow light. Oh my god. Okay. Bancroft digs deep into the Dukes. You have to. You got to dig deep. You got to go all the way. It's pretty amazing, actually. That what is it? That website, Ancestry. It's pretty amazing what you can learn. What you can hold over everyone else to say that you're special. Yeah. Why isn't that disappearing? Bancroft is a descendant of the great royal family, the Coneheads. They come from France. Well, that's the thing. They are all into what's it called? Interbred and everything. That is the case. I like once you're in there, it's not only English. You know, well, William the Conqueror was French, but there was like a Israeli empress and Russian print, all these sorts of people, you know. But, you know, obviously you're talking very, very far removed. Mo says Bancroft gets a discount from Ancestry.com for all the references he sends them. Every time a new family moves into the neighborhood, yeah, I send over a special envoy so they know, you know, who they're living. They should know. I think that, you know, everyone should know who you live next to. So, you know, they get a little history lesson. Kessa says, I might be related to Richard Wagner. That made the Ride of the Valkyries a little cooler to me. Unless he's not related, then screw him. Yeah, screw that guy. He was Hitler's favorite composer from memory. Mm-hmm. I keep closing groups here and then I forget what I'm doing. Gitler, not that guy again. What's up, Well Red? I'll be joining Well Red on the 15th, which is in a little under a week. Going to be reviewing Shadow Sentry. This is in the middle of October. We're up to, what did I do last night was Jawbone Death by Adam Lawson and Jason Craig. Look, I remembered his name finally. Well, I just got a little refresher yesterday. And tomorrow, exciting, is Groken, which is very exciting. But yeah, I'm in a reviewing mood at the moment. I don't know if I really review them. Like, you've ever seen Mike Partika's reviews? He gets into the weeds. He goes in depth. You can actually learn something from his. I'm not going to do that. I'm like one take. If I have to pause and say something again, it annoys me. And if I say something wrong or just mumble, I'll just cut it out. You know, I'm not going to do another take. Ain't nobody got time for that. But it's good. I'm enjoying reading. I'm enjoying making the videos. I mean, they don't get many views, but you know, it's not only just indie comics. Indie comics is small enough as it is. Creator owned, that's like, man, that's like view death. That's all right. I'm cool with it. Cosmonaut says, I love Groken. One day I will get a Roquefort cover. Cost me a rib, probably worth it. I asked him for Fractured Mind, actually. He said he's already doing a ton of he's got a certain amount of DC, I think it's DC covers he has to do every year. But I don't know how long that contract lasts, but I too, that would be the one. I would love to see Kenneth drawing Ella. That would be amazing. Have you considered coughing and randomly talking about your Sonic breakfast burrito? I did think about that. I did think about, you know, maybe if I get in my car instead, like, you know, put a towel over my lap, that might improve things. Or, you know, like, I would start the stream with the what is it, OBS infinite window, whatever he's got, then I might actually have a chance. But actually, I've borrowed a ring light. You can pull it down. It's on an arm. It's pretty cool. I've got this from work. I have to take it back, but look at this little ring light. I can put my phone right in there, and then just goes right over the top. Let's put that back up so I don't hit my head on it. The proper term is a lap hijab. Hello, Guy Wiley, joining us over on Instagram. Mo says Infinite Windows is where he started going downhill. He was much more entertaining holding a physical comic in his car or closet. Yeah, I'm thinking what I'm going to do for the digital, because I've noticed in these videos I'm doing, I talk a lot with my hands. I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't even realize I would do that. But I'll lose that if I'm just talking over a digital screen. So I was thinking I'll get my iPad out and I'll put that there and I'll flick through it to do the digital ones. At least then it's somewhat, it's not really physical, but it's somewhat physical. But there's Perfect 10, which I had to get because I, for some reason, never got my copy. And Infinital Chronicles and Kataru. I think they're the only ones that are digital. Walking and talking seems to be all the rage. Yeah, that's a TikTok thing, I think. KSS says talk in my sleep. God, Victoria got up the other night and freaked us out because we heard someone walking, and then there's like automatic lights in the corridor. They came on, and usually I'm just like, it's one of the kids. But Mel was like, "What's that?" She saw someone, so I was like, "All right, I better go investigate." So I jump up, and I just look in both the kids' rooms, and they're asleep in their beds. And like they're in bed. She's like, "No, I saw someone." It's like, oh god. So now I got to grab the old wooden stick thing that we have and hunt around the house for someone hiding in there. But it was just Victoria. She'd sleptwalked. She'd jumped up out of bed, walked into the corridor, and then quickly run back and jumped back into bed in the span of like 5 or 10 seconds. For whatever reason, I can only speculate. But yeah. And then, of course, you know, I've got adrenaline pumping from my middle of the night manhunt. And now I can't get back to sleep. That's just how it is. Oh, you got a license for that stick? It was, you know what it is? It's my brother he lived in South Korea for a stint. And he brought back, it's like one of those swords. What is it? Kendo swords made of wood. So it's the only sword we can have. Camel says, Mike, I saw your Dune comment. I agree. They're both great. But have you seen Goon? It feels like it never gets to the point. I haven't seen Goon. Yeah, someone left a comment saying the first June. I never know what to say. My natural accent is to say June, as in the month. But then no one would know what I'm talking about. So I would say Dune, the movie, the movies. And they said the first one was better than the second one. I think they're both good. I like them both. And I've read the books. I understand they're not the same. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I think Villeneuve is I really like his visual approach to filmmaking. I think it's really cool. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, I've got the wrong bloody brush here. Let's change that. There we go. Just trying to get a bit of contrast in here. I watched Goon with Zaid Comics. He finished the movie way before. You can find Bancroft's opinion on that film on his YouTube short review, Goon in 60 Seconds. Oh my God. It's called Boomerang. No, I don't have a boomerang. A boomerang wouldn't work inside. It needs a large space to do its thing. There are boomerangs that can kill. They're big enough. They're not in the normal shape of a boomerang that you might imagine. They're sort of more like a hockey stick. And they're just heavy wood. And because of the shape, you can lob them quite far and quite accurately. And because they sort of like woof, 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 like that. And yeah, they'll take you out if they hit you in the wrong spot. I'll take you out. Apparently, Wellred is getting doxxed in back rooms. Sorry to hear. I'm very happily enjoying my exodus from any and all back rooms. You know, the ones where you've got like 30 people in there talking crap. Nobody got time for that. Goon with the Wind, a classic for the ages. Frederick made some 3-winged boomerangs back in art school. Yeah, they're good, those ones. That's like the modern take on the old boomerang. I think our Ella needs a little bit of nice blue rim light to set her off. Set her apart from the background even more. Oh, I've already got it in there. Okay, didn't need to do that. All right, let's do this. I did not get my account back. Every 3 or 4 days, I just send Twitter a little appeal. I've sent about 12 so far. Just saying the same thing. Yo, check me case, bro. Give me bloody account back. But no word. I mean, they did. I know they did something like 500,000 accounts in a week or so. So I imagine they're getting a lot of appeals at the moment. They're sorting through. Who knows when or if it will be back. Kind of really screwing this up. Whoa. It took Ethan almost a year to get his account back. I remember that. And why did he lose his? I can't remember. And he likes to argue with people. You know, some of them take offense, and then things happen. So, but I think this was purely just. It's just going to take a long time for a human to actually look at it. But Gavin McGuinness got his back the other month, and that was years. But that was kind of like a proper ban. He was banned off the internet. Proper cancelled. See, I'm not expecting it soon. He lost his for authentic bane. You never know. What are the rules? That's the problem. What are the rules? No one knows them. They change at any time. I don't argue with people. I'll like occasionally, I'm human. I'll send a snarky little response. And sometimes people want to argue the point with me. I don't do that. If I make a response to a post and then someone replies to that and I feel like they want to actually get into an argument, I just mute. The catharsis is in the post, not in the I'm not looking to get into an argument with a friggin' mobile phone sitting on a shelf in New Delhi somewhere. Why does it sound like Well-Read is attempting to lure Bancroft into a back room? I've been in a back room or two with Well-Read. It was pleasant. It was nice. I do remember Stefan Molyneux. I used to listen to him pretty religiously. He's back. And he's always been angry. He's like so angry that no one followed him off YouTube or wherever he went to. I think he was just on his own website. But he's at least back on He's back on X. He's posting his videos there. I've listened to a couple of them. I don't know where he is on in terms of like video platforms, but he's here. He's on. He's here. He's on. Sorry, he's on Twitter. He's on X. So. He talked a lot of shit. I like Stefan. He spoke his mind at a time when it really hurt people to do that. Like it really cost them a lot. Yeah. I think I'm happy with that. I don't know what to do in here. Because it's through, it's through glass. And I was wondering, do I like put a layer over it? But I just think that's going to look weird. I'll put a layer over this because that's double glass. I'll do that. That'll at least be something. But how do I do that? That is the question. I thought I had something like that. Oh, yeah, there. PB says, if it's a point that makes you think, but you don't agree, that's arguing? No, I'm talking, what did I say the other day? Someone put up a video about, what it is to be Australian or something like that. And I replied that, my wife is French, she's white, she's fully integrated. Like she even has a bit of an Aussie twang in her accent. She's an Australian citizen, all these things. But I said she'll never be Australian, ever, for as long as she lives. It's impossible for her to be Australian because she's French. It doesn't have anything to do with her race. It doesn't have anything to do with how her values or whatever. Anyway. And then I don't know, some idiot just responded some, insult, some bullshit. I can't remember what he said. Just an insult, And the instinct might be to hit back and say, but no. That's more what I'm talking about, stuff like that. That's usually what happens for me anyway. So. Give it a slight shine glare so it doesn't just look like boards. Yeah. I'll do something, but I'll have to experiment. Normally, let me just put this sort of darker thing on it. Multiply that. And then, usually with glass, what you want to do is, what I do anyway, is like gradients. That's usually your best option. And then, like, so that it looks the other way. Yeah, I think I had one. Kind of like I'll just do it quickly. This won't be it, but do we even have that? No. I should have a mask of it, but I don't. Or do I? Yeah, all right. It'll do. Okay. Arguing on the internet seems pointless to me. That's what I've discovered, and I've been involved in many an argument. I didn't think you were arguing, PB. Yeah, no, I was just clarifying as well. I normally don't find, at least not on X, I don't find anyone who we're in sort of a dialectic with contention that actually wants to have a discussion. Almost always, and I'm thinking back years now, it's just been someone who wants to call me a, all these kinds of words. That's usually the only thing I find. Maybe I'm just in the, bad corners, but yeah, I used to do it all the time on it used to be more fruitful. I wouldn't say it was fruitful, but I used to do it on like message boards and stuff, because that way you actually, it could be ongoing. But that was a long time ago. That was in like 2010. Yeah, I don't know. Something like this, but not this. The you do the harsh. I've got to figure this out. But you do like a harsh line denotes that it's glass, and then you have like a gradient as well, and it should give off the illusion that she's looking through glass without having to. But I have to figure it out, because I think it needs to probably sit over the ink to give that effect that I need. But it also has to not wash away what you're looking at. I'll have to do some experimenting later. That's not going to be done now. I'd rather spend time on things that I like. Exactly. Things like being productive. You mean you don't want to convince strangers that they're wrong? That's the whole thing. No one's. Yeah, it's a waste of energy. Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone feels that heat when someone attacks them, and you want to respond, and but then you realize just how utterly futile it is. You have no capacity, almost no capacity, of changing anyone's mind. There was a handful of times, I used to do pretty contentious shorts, and funnily enough, one of the most contentious ones was that April O'Neil is a white lady, has been from the start, not black as this urban legend out there says. That stems from a 2013 article on one of those crappy websites. And so I did a couple of shorts on April O'Neil, and I get, just endless comments. April O'Neil was originally black. And I reply to, as many as pop up or whatever. Helps the algorithm. And I just said to one of them, incorrect, look it up, or something like that. And amazingly, out of, hundreds and hundreds of times this happened, one person came back and said, oh, I did look it up. You're right. Thanks. I just believed what everyone said. I was like, wow, unbelievable. Someone's mind was changed on the internet by going and doing research. It's like the one time it's ever happened. So I'll never forget that moment. Okay, so it says, I used to argue all the time on message boards about the history of the Old West. Yeah, we used to argue about feminism and art, religion, everything. And then Trump became a thing, and it all got way too personal. You know, people were like, "Oh, so you're a white supremacist now?" And it's like, all right, dipped out. April had a poem in the 80s comic. All women had poems back then. Saying a woman is black because her hair might be the most racist thing ever. It's very dumb. It is very dumb. All right. I do have to go to work, unfortunately. I got a little bit done. Let me save it. I'm always worried I'm going to lose it. Man, if every panel was easy like that, I'd have this thing finished in a week. But it isn't. Saving. Come on. Arguing on the internet is a waste of time. People don't want to change their minds. I don't think they can change their minds. I listened to a fantastic video years ago where a guy was breaking down why you can't just change people's minds by showing them evidence that contradicts their beliefs. Because your beliefs aren't a light switch. Especially if you have a really strongly held belief. The way he put it is there's a belief is a temple. And the temple is propped up by a number of pillars. And it could be, you know, lots and lots of different pillars. And those pillars are like, you know, whatever it is, different aspects of their argument, essentially. So if you're going to like knock down the temple, you've got to knock down each one of those pillars first. And they're going to fight tooth and nail that you don't. So that's why you like just going at the temple isn't going to do anything. You've got to like, and that's why people don't want to, like you can't just say, oh no, I think Trump is fine or whatever, because they've got all these pillars of that they've built up over years of why conservatives are evil, you know? So you can't just slap that all away. It doesn't work like that. That's how it, but people change their minds slowly over time because maybe one of these pillars gets knocked over and then it creates a ripple effect, but it happens over time. And it's not you on the internet showing them a FBI statistic. Work, I'm going to sleep. Oh, we clearly are on a different time zone. Exactly. Yeah, contrary evidence gets them to double down. That's almost always what happens. But I do have to go to work now. And I need a new cup of tea before I start. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. This has been Coloring Comics Live with Michael Bancroft. And I will see you tomorrow for the launch of Shadowpunk's new book, Shadowpunk Inferno, which looks amazing. And he has a ton of these really cool 3D printed models that he'll either be giving away or selling. And make sure you're here for it. I'm going to check to see if anyone else is streaming at this weird hour. See if we can do a raid. Nope, no one on my list. All right, well, that's what it is. That's all right. Okay, everybody. Have a good night, day, evening, morning, whatever it is. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Perth made an Australian video and I wasn't even in it.
Emotional damage.